All right, you want to launch a premium apparel line, something like Tommy Bahama, those Ralph Lauren priced polos, but you've been seeing DTF transfers on TikTok and social media, and you're just wondering, can I press those on and call it a day? All right, whoa. Let's unpack that friend to friend, no jargon grenades, no sponsorships, no none of that. So first off, why is everybody raving about DTF in the first place? Because it's the Swiss Army knife of printing. Full color? Check. One-offs? Easy. You can set up a spare bedroom, crank out custom tees overnight, and ship them before your espresso shot even gets cold. If your customer's budget tops out at 25 bucks a shirt, it's magic. But the moment that price creeps north of like $30, when someone starts treating that garment less like merch, more like an investment, the microscope comes out, they start rubbing the fabric between their fingers, stretching it, and they picture what that shirt is going to feel like 3 summers from now. And suddenly that press and go approach that comes with DTF, it has to answer some tough questions. Picture this, you walk into a boutique in your town. You see a nice Tommy Bahama shirt, you're thinking summer's coming up, I should snag this. You go to try it on, it fits like a glove, drapes like a breeze. Now just imagine if you slapped a big DTF transfer the size of like a dinner plate on the back, that beautiful flowing rayon, that's gonna be gone. You've basically added like a plastic placemat, and when you step into the sun, you're now wearing like a big greenhouse. Definitely not a vibe, not the Tommy Bahama way. And I learned this the hard way. So I am a huge Travis Scott fan. I am a sucker for his merch. 55 for a tee, 125 for a hoodie, no questions asked. But those prints, they're huge on the t-shirts. If you guys have seen me wearing them in my vlogs day to day, like shoulder to shoulder, neck to hem, 8 color minimum, these shirts are obviously very expensive, but they're screen printed. They're screen printed with water-based ink, and with that allows the design to breathe. Years later, the hoodie is still soft, and if those same graphics had been with DTF, I'd have felt every square inch of that DTF transfer every time it moved, every time I stepped out into that Houston heat. I'd be annoyed, and you'd probably see that hoodie on Facebook Marketplace by now. So where does DTF really shine? If it's not for high-end, high-priced apparel, where does it actually fit in? Does it fit in at all? Have all of those things you've been seeing online about DTF feeling plasticky, like trash, just the absolute worst way to put a transfer decoration onto a t-shirt? Is that true? Let's say like a company picnic, they need 40 tees with a rainbow gradient. The shirts cost $9, they'll be worn twice, photographed once, and then they're gonna disappear under a pile of laundry. DTF eats that job for breakfast. Or an Etsy seller who drops a trendy design in like 5-pack bundles. DTF again, fast, cheap, loud. But you, my friend who wants these premium apparels, that means that we're gonna have to bring in some of the heavy hitters, something like embroidery, screen printing. And guys, honestly, like embroidery, it's like the Beverly Hills of t-shirt decoration. Imagine like a tiny left chest logo, 5 different colors, and then you put that on like a nice Nike, Adidas, Reebok, like a $65 polo, the ones you see on S&S. That's gonna be good. The thread's gonna lock into the fabric. It washes forever, never cracks, never peels. As long as like the size of the design isn't Texas size, you're gonna be golden. But the other thing is when you're wanting something that is like, you are wanting like a Texas size, a big colorful back print, something to do with like maybe some high color artwork. That is where you might have to step into screen printing. Plastisol if you need really bright opacity colors on dark fabrics. Water-based if you really want that like buttery, I can't even feel the ink on the tee finish. And then there are even additional options that you can consider, like discharge for that like vintage vibe, puff for a 3D pop on the shirts. Those seem to be really popular nowadays. Again, those Travis Scott shirts have been using puff. And then if you cure it right, you can get hundreds of washes before anyone even notices that you've had that shirt for this long. So generally, if you are doing something high-end, you're selling your shirts for north of $30, like I've been saying, and you want to command that premium brand feel, I would really go for either embroidery or screen printing. But those of you guys watching this, You may be screaming at your screen, what about DTG? Direct to garment, or DTG as it's known, is kind of like the middle child. It's softer than DTF, but it also handles like photo detail like a champ. But the problem is the protection. It can kind of fade sooner, and the cost really does climb really fast on dark garments because like of the pre-treat that you have to use to get the t-shirt to actually wash well. So if your brand screams like limited drop, DTG can handle like samples, micro runs, but it's not really the cornerstone of a luxury premium apparel line. So getting tactical, all right, let's grab a notebook, let's get it serious. So if you are talking like fabric first, ring spun cotton, you've honestly got everything that I've mentioned in this video on the table. If you are doing, so like screen printing, gonna be great. Basically on any different color, you can screen print that specific fabric all day, every day. Embroidery also going to be good, but you want to kind of watch the weight of the t-shirt or the fabric with embroidery. The heavier the weight, the better it's going to be, because you have to add the stabilizer to the back to actually like give the thread something to grip on. So if the t-shirt's a really lightweight material, it can kind of like cause it to like droop down and not look the best on the t-shirt. But that can be fixed with like heavier weight shirts. So what about something like a lightweight rayon blend, something like those Tommy Bahama shirts? You can screen print those with water-based ink, but honestly, I would just keep the design small and embroidered. I can't really think of any of those type of t-shirts where they have like big prints anywhere, even on the shirt, a big print on the front, a big print on the back. Like that just doesn't seem to be the case. Usually it's always just like a little small embroidered logo in one of the left chests, right chests, that type of thing. So thinking about your design size next, a tiny logo, embroidery, or like a screen print, that's gonna work really well. But a full chest graphic, screen print is going to win probably all day, every day with that. Full shirt, edge to edge festival art, water-based simulated process, going to be a really good way to get that t-shirt decorated. Or if you are like super insistent on having the most breathable t-shirt that you can possibly get, discharge is going to be your way to go. It keeps it super breathable. It's kind of like you're printing bleach. So it's gonna actually like bleach the color of the shirt to get it to not really a white, it's kind of like an ivory amber color. And it just allows you to then use that as kind of like an underbase. So rather than printing a white underbase, you can use discharge to then put additional colors on top and really get a super breathable print. The only thing is that there's not too many shops doing discharge nowadays. It's just like, it's really annoying to work with. The smell is just awful. And screen printing as it is nowadays, unless you're doing massive quantity runs, is getting priced and pushed out. Let's talk about the colors. So color count, if you are under 6 colors and say like 36 sheets, screen printing is affordable. Screen printing is usually done by color, so it's going to depend on the actual number of shirts that you're ordering. So the higher number of shirts you're ordering, usually you're going to get a better discount. But then if you have designs with lots of colors, that is going to actually impact the price of the final product. But then when you look at something like 10 colors and 10 shirts, well, now we're flirting with DTG territory. And if it retails under 50 bucks, you're good to go. If the client was trying to sell the shirt for something more than like 50 bucks, above that, I would probably push the client to scale the run or simplify the color palette so we can get that screen printed. The retail price is really just going to be the final gate. Like I've been saying, under 30 bucks, DTF, totally acceptable. 30 to 50, customers are going to expect a little bit of a nicer hand feel. So something like water-based or plastisol, that's going to be your best bet. But then above 50, you're getting serious, man. You really gotta start treating this garment like a Rolex. You gotta like use what vanishes into the fabric or integrates with it. Never sits on top like a bumper sticker like DTF, unfortunately. Again, guys, I am fairly biased. As you can see behind me, I have a fleet of 4 DTF printers, and I get asked every single day, whether that be on demos for AMS Transfers Plus, people leaving comments on TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, can I use DTF to start my clothing apparel brand? And it's all going to depend on the actual retail price that you're going to be charging for your t-shirts, and if DTF should even really be considered. Let's just do a quick economics check. 250 polos with like a 3-color crest logo, embroidery costs maybe $5 each. You sell that at 65 retail, that decoration cost is going to be peanuts compared to the actual perceived value of that t-shirt. Now, if you swap that in for DTF, sure, you're gonna save a buck, but you're gonna risk that polo feeling cheap. Not worth the nickel you kept. Now, flip to those Mud Run 5K tees. 100 shirts, 6 color front, personalized bib numbers on the back. Screen printing means 7 screens for that, right? So 2 setups and hours on press. DTF, in this specific case, can rip through that in one afternoon, names and all. And those runners, they're not gonna pay 65 bucks for a tee. They'll pay 20, and for that case, what have I been saying? DTF is gonna be your hero. Now, could DTF technology evolve in the future? Absolutely. I've seen stuff like perforated films being tested, stretch additives, breathable adhesives. Like the chemist guys, they're cooking up solutions. So today, right now, the shoppers can still unfortunately tell. So when you're charging high-end money, the garments feel and story, it has to match the invoice. Let me tell you about a streetwear startup that I met last month. They were gonna do designs with these crazy gradients, but the thing is, they wanted these like really short runs, and they insisted that DTF was going to be the way. They've been seeing all of these things online. They see that DTF has been taking over the scene, and they want DTF because of the fast restock option. So I printed 2 samples for them. I did 1 DTF, and then I did 1 water-based simulated process, laid them out next to each other, no labels, like no way for them to tell. They grabbed the screen print and their eyes like literally did that, one of those. They lit up, and the DTF one, their first words out of their mouth was, "It feels kind of stiff." They never even asked about the turnaround time. They just asked how to get the water-based simulated process at scale, case closed. When you do put these things actually in front of clients, customers, for them to see the difference firsthand, you can really make a pretty compelling argument and show them the difference. Because again, these people, they get hypnotized by these videos, these shorts, whatever it is on TikTok and on social media. And they'll believe anything that anyone tells them. So the only real way to kind of prove that otherwise is to show them firsthand what the actual difference is. And again, I know that I am kind of taking money out of my own pocket by making this video. I have DTF printers that I would love to have running all of the time. But I'm just trying to be real with you guys. If you are looking to sell high-end, high-priced apparel, DTF transfers are not going to be the way to go. If you're looking to do some promo items, you're looking to do shirts for a fun run, you're looking to do some business shirts for a golf outing, whatever it is. Shirts that are going to be worn maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, perfect, man. You are going to be set up for success with DTF. And at the end of the day, I think that most of us those of you who are watching this video, you're probably doing more bulk of that kind of stuff. If you're doing promo orders, you're doing shirts for schools, organizations, churches, whatever it is. And this is exactly why DTF has taken off and become such a huge player in the scene, because that's what the market wants. The market isn't necessarily going out and buying 10,000 $75 t-shirts. They're gonna buy 1 maybe, but are they gonna buy like 8 of them? That's gonna be a different story. So here's the playbook. If you're serious, you wanna build a premium brand, you can keep DTF in your toolbox for like a quick hit merch drop, but small runs or test drops, anything under 30 bucks, DTF is gonna be good. You're all set for DTF. Now the ones that are on that top shelf, they're wrapped in tissue, they got the nice bow on top. That is going to be a case where you want to invest in embroidery or high caliber screen printing. The cost is going to be higher. That's the point though. You're selling an experience. You're selling that experience stitched or fused into the fabric. You're not just selling cotton. And remember, your customers buy with their fingertips before their wallet, and a good story can really always make up for a compelling difference. So give them something that feels like it belongs in the luxury section, something that you would find on the shelf at Gucci. And remember, your customer buys with their fingertips before their wallet. Give them something that feels like it belongs in the luxury section, and they'll gladly slide the Amex across the counter. But if you give them a plastic placemat pasted on a $75 tee, they're gonna walk out of there and you're gonna be left with a fat stack of inventory. So there it is, guys. I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm just trying to give you the scoop from like one print nerd to another. Use DTF where it excels. There are many places where you can use it to elevate your brand, but launch your brand with the confidence that you need to succeed. that finish on the shirt, make sure that that finish on the shirt is as premium as your price tag. So make sure that you're focusing on the story, make sure that you're offering a product that reflects the value that that customer is getting, and now go make something that feels as good as it looks. And call me when you're ready to celebrate your first sold out drop. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there is anything that I can help you with in the next couple videos, please drop that down below in the comment section. I love making these videos, trying to help those of you guys get more educated in the DTF t-shirt printing apparel space. If there is anything else you guys want to see more of, get subscribed. I post videos like this every single day on the channel, and I've been daily vlogging our journey here at amstransfers.com for the past 3 years. So there's a whole backlog of content you guys can check out right now.
In a world full of visions, dreams on the run, we needed a spark, now look what we've done. Just type it, describe it, watch it unfold.